You see it, right? That's not gonna work. I need a proper background. Hey, what's up, gardening friends? Jeff here. How's everybody doing? I'm great. I don't know, booger on my nose, do I? Can we find something better? Oh, that light. Oh, that's a little bit better. Really brings out the bags, doesn't it? Did I? That's the ceiling. Kind of better. I'm not good at this. Screw it. I find sitting in front of the camera to be incredibly boring. I like to be up and moving around. Today, I have some seedlings to repot over. Turn around. That was me getting bossy with my camera. Apologies. Kept hitting the button to flip around to this direction so you can see what was going on. There's nowhere to put a tripod back here. It would have to go right here where the plumbing stuff is, so this is what we're doing. I have some seeds I was thinking about starting. It's about that time, but more importantly, more excitingly, I don't know, I may not film that. It's just seeds. Today, the Orchid show at the Missouri Botanical Garden starts. They set up these big, beautiful displays of, hundreds and hundreds of orchids tucked in with all kinds of beautiful aroids and exotic plants. They display them very, very nicely. And 2 days only, there's an orchid sale that goes on. And this is the only time of year that I'm aware of here in St. Louis where you can go and buy a whole bunch of different types of orchids. The orchid shops around here, well, we don't have orchid shops. The nurseries around here, it's pretty much just, occasionally you see it, Phalaenopsis, and Garden Heights and Sugar Creek. Some of them are starting to carry assortments of orchids, but it's pretty much just random oncidiums that usually say assorted. Yeah, it's not my thing. And I love to see all of the aroids. So I thought I'd bring y'all along, and I was planning on planting up some seeds before I left, but I don't know why I've been procrastinating planting up seeds this year. I think it's because it's just so incredibly cold right now that I'm like, where am I gonna put these? The initial plan with the seed starting this year was to put them out to that greenhouse, but we're still having lows around 0 Fahrenheit. And as long as it's getting that cold, I'm trying really not to do anything in there, and I have to do a bunch of rearranging to make everything fit out there. So I'm just gonna tell you what I was thinking about starting, and then if I do, then, well, you'll get to see it. I have the Amaranthus perfecta, Amaranthus tricolor. It's I don't know how to describe it. It kind of looks like a poinsettia, but it's green, yellow, and red. Really, really pretty. Thinking about starting some loofah gourds. Oh, by the way, these are all very old packets of seeds. Very, 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 I mean, these are from Baker Creek, who I just don't really order from that company anymore. So that tells you how old those are. And loofah gourds, they need time to get going. Does it say on here how long? Seedlings emerge 7 to 14 days. Then, okay, I mean, that's pretty normal. I thought they have a longer growing season to get them going. So if I'm going to do loofah gourds, this would be a good time to start them, probably. This just says vegetable seeds. What does that mean? Does it say on here? Artichoke. Oh, green globe. Perfect. These are some green globe artichokes. I have some others of those that I want to try. These are the Notapeno jalapenos. It's a jalapeno pepper that doesn't have any heat in it. And I grew, actually, I don't know if there's any left in here. I planted some of these out a few years ago, and I actually really enjoyed them. They were a bit bland though, because the heat is, that's what we like about a jalapeno. There are some seeds in there though. So I might get some of those going. I have these pink dandelions, which I really enjoy. Well, I don't need to start these now. These can wait. 40 to 60 day. Yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. This is packed in 2022. A long time ago. I have some poppies here. Giant Rattle and Supreme. And then, let me just get the rest of these organized here. What is this? Green Globe and Colorado Red Star artichokes. They do well here. The Imperial Star, I don't remember which, also does well here. I have another packet of the pink dandelions. And then this is, I didn't mean to pick this up. I don't even know where this came from. It's black-seeded Simpson. Ornamental corn, that's not supposed to be in here either. I'm not starting corn right now. No reason to start corn. I have some cucamelon, and then these, which probably aren't any good. Oh, there's a sneeze coming. Oh, excuse me. These are hula pink begonias, but these were packed for 2024 and they're pelleted. So, I don't know. Pelleted seeds, they don't last all that long. But that's really the end of that. I don't think I'm going to bring you along for the seed starting. The poppies, I will do differently than normal. I think I'm just going to put them in a container, kind of like this one right here. I'm just going to sprinkle some in there, put a tiny, tiny bit of soil on top, and stick them outside. because they don't start well in the ground for me. The ground's too hard, they always get washed away. I saw a good hack though. Somebody said to put them in an ice cube tray and freeze them. And then, you know, after several weeks, they needed stratification. You stay frozen, or at least chilled for quite a while. And then to bury those ice cubes. Like just, you know, just pop them below the surface of the soil. Maybe that's what I'll do with those. That might be a good idea. Because that's always my issue with the poppies is the seeds they just disappear and wash away. So that ice cube thing will work. So, okay, well now y'all are up to date on some seeds I might be starting. And there hasn't really been anything new going on out here, not since last week's plant tour. I have some new pots here that I picked up from Walmart, not these. These are mesh pots. Usually order those from Amazon. These guys right here, I left the label on it so you could see it. I don't normally go for plastic pottery. So right there, it says birch gray. These are the 6-inch pots. These were $3.97. And I actually really like them. I have another one over here that's empty. Yeah, I'm not crazy about the plastic, but oh, there's a better name. 6-inch core planter birch gray. But they're double walled, so they're not thin and flimsy. They're not scratching. It's a lot of plastic pots I get, they scratch up really easily. And they don't look that plasticky. You can still tell they're plastic, but they don't look all that plasticky. They're nice. I'm really liking these so far. The drainage dish is attached. I haven't tried to get it off. Well, I haven't tried hard to get it off. I tried to casually get it off and it wasn't coming off. But the bottom of the pot, you can see it's molded to be smaller, so without the drainage dish, it would look silly. But if that's something you're concerned about, you can just pop a hole in the bottom of the drainage dish if you don't want any water down in the bottom of the container. I thought $3.97 was a great price for those. I also grabbed this one. I don't know why. I guess I thought it was cute. I think it was like $8 or something like that, maybe. I can't remember. I don't know if I'd buy it again, but it's cute. And then they had these guys right here, which is, let me see what it says. 8-inch Jordan planter birch gray. It's just a nice, you know, more of a rounded container. And again, it's a pretty decent plastic. It's hollow, right? It's not a super thin wall, but it still feels sturdy. The cost of clay has gone up so much. I was like, start getting some more plastic. And then this happened. That's all. End of story. Do you need a description? 6-inch planter / flamingo. It says / flamingo. Well, that means that there's going to be others. I don't know. All right, we got some fun containers here. That's all. All right, let's go check out some orchids and aroids. That was fun, wasn't it? Look at this one. Yeah, I brought a few home. Was quite crowded, and I do my best to shoot over people. I don't want to be getting people in the videos, even though it's like it's public space and that's supposed to be, you know, okay. I don't know. I don't like doing that. So I got what I could, did my best to try and get labels on things, and I was also with another person, so I was trying to be considerate of that. Just was like, okay, I'm gonna keep it moving. So I don't know, you got a glimpse, and I didn't really zoom in on any of the aeroids or anything specifically, but you got to see like the broad picture, the broad strokes, all the beautiful plants, the way they display them. It's lovely. Want to see what I got? We'll start with this one. I should probably save this for last because it's one of the only ones that's in bloom right now. Isn't she just lovely? I love the pink. Oh, looks like I broke a petal. Let's look at a different one. Isn't she just lovely? So pretty. Oh my God, it's perfect. And it's got a plug in the bottom. It's even better. Sometimes I have to give my cattleyas a soak. So this one right here, it's an RL, right? Yeah. Rincolaleo, Cattleya Orchid, Yen Corona. It's a fragrant one. It smells nice. It doesn't sheath. So for those of you who aren't orchid people, which probably most people who are watching, the Cattleya orchids, some of them, and when I say Cattleya, I'm talking about Cattleyas and all the Cattleya Alliance, like in the umbrella. Some of them produce a sheath, which I'll show you later, and the bud, the inflorescence develops inside of that, and some of them just shoot it on out. I do better with the ones that shoot it on out. We'll talk more about that later. Briefly, we're not going to go on about this stuff for too long. Mostly just wanted to show you what I got. It's beautiful. I love the color. And it is fragrant. It smells quite nice. This one is from Nat's Orchids. And I just love Nat's Orchids. I haven't been to the show in a few years. I haven't bought anything. It was nice to get up there and see what they had. And then I also have another one over here that, well, I'll show you that one later. So some things that aren't orchids, 'cause it wasn't just orchids in there. I have this little cutie right here, and it's just adorable. Her prices were so good. These are from Windy Hill Nurseries. They're a grower. I don't think they're open to the public. It's a Pinguicula agnata, and it's a butterwort. Carnivorous, very easy carnivorous plants. Like how it says on here, needs an airy mix, keeps somewhat drier, but humid and cool, not cold in winter. 50's okay. Well said. Well said. Yeah, there's different types of the Pinguiculas. I pretty much have only grown the Giganteas, but I really like this one because I know the Agnata is supposed to be very, very vigorous. Like, I mean, look at it. Look at all the little offsets it's produced. And then I also got this one up here, which has a darker flower on it. You want to focus? There we go. Yeah, nice looking flowers. This one's a hybrid. I thought she said it was a hybrid. I thought she said that this was a cross between a Gigantea and something else. Maybe that was one that's sitting next to this one. Never mind. This one likes the flowers better on this one. This is a Morinensis Pinguicula. So it's the same thing. I think it is slightly larger than the Agnata. And, well, not slightly. I'm pretty sure it's a good size compared. What's about the Pinguiculas is they are a carnivorous plant. They produce plenty of flowers. They're good about having flowers on them. You can grow them on top of a hypertufa or any type of tufa, lava rock, pumice, and just put that into a dish of water. And that's kind of how they naturally grow. So they do well with that, and they can become more of a succulent during the winter time, which I think is just so freaking cool. Okay, out to the grow space. Got some other things to look at. All right, my goodness. The things are piling up over here. Forgot to turn that heater off. I'm gonna let that cycle down and get these things popped open, and I'll probably pop these up as we go. Look how I made sure to grab my sprayer but didn't bother to put any water in it. That makes sense. Now, unfortunately, all except for what you saw in the house is bare root. I'm not really used to that. That's a kind of a newer way to be doing things at the orchid show. It's not my favorite way to be buying them either, but you know, it just is what it is. Those were the choices. There were plenty of things that were potted. The ones at Nat's Orchids and Windy Hill and the other guy who I can never remember his name. He's very nice. He grows his orchids in a cave. You know what I'm talking about. Comment down below. Their plants are all really nice and potted. But the rest of these are from Equigenera and another seller whose name I couldn't find there. So I don't know, but you got to work on your marketing. It was also a very stimulating environment too, so maybe there was just too much going on and I didn't notice it. But the majority of them are from Equigenera, so we will start with those. Equigener, if you don't know, great place to get your aeroids from. And they did have some aeroids, but that's not what I was interested in. So I can get aeroids from Equigener at any time. Right here, this is an encyclia. Is that gonna, no, too many lights? You kind of can see it. Encyclia cordillera. There's all that reflection. That doesn't make things any easier for anybody. This is one of my favorite orchids, and I had one, and I had it for a very, very, very long time. I ended up giving it away. And then a year later, I was like, why'd I do that? I really like that plant. But it's because it's a very easy to grow orchid, and they used to be very easy to find for sale. I'm sure for some of you they still are, but I haven't been able to find them in quite a while. So, and this isn't even a great example of this orchid. So as this grows and gets mature, the bases right here, these pseudobulbs, get really big and very, very, very pronounced. And they have a long bloom stalk with a really pretty flower on it that has some fragrance to it. It's nice. The only thing I don't love about the cordilleras is that they're ant magnets. You have to do a lot of cleaning up on these guys. Yeah, that'll be a whole thing. I probably won't film that. I'll just do it, especially with these last three over here, because these are plants that I have never done particularly well with if they're bare rooted. But you know, beggars can't be choosers. Nobody sells these things where I live. It's just phals and the occasional oncidium. We talked about that at the beginning of the video, and it's not like they die on me. If you know what I'm talking about, this is like your typical cattleya. You saw the one in the house. This one right here is a rainbow. Yeah, it's a RLC. And that picture, that's difficult to see because it's got some shine to it. Let me try something here. Does that help? What about this one? What about that? Oh, there we go. Much better. That's a pretty accurate picture too. And this one does have a sheath in it. So you see that little spot in there? I guess I can take it out. There we go. Is that better? Brighten things up a little bit. Yeah, it's more even. So I thought this was a nice looking plant, especially for one that was in a bag. However, the roots, there's a few good ones. See those wider roots that don't want to focus? Well, they're there. But all this brown stuff in here, that's really no good, particularly these papery ones. So they don't transport well. Bare-rooted cattleyas don't transport that well for me. It has been my experience, but you can see all the potential here. Maybe. Camera didn't come to work today. That's fine. I'll get it potted up. You cut the old stuff off, and it's not like the plant itself is going to rot away and die. That's not what happens. It just has a setback, and it's going to have to reestablish its roots. It's like growing something from a cutting, and it's really important to get all that dead stuff out of there because it will just rot. But we have what look like 3 or 2 new canes on here, and you can see the new roots coming out of those canes down at the bottom. Oh, hold still. Hold still. I'm going to try this again. See if maybe the camera's just not into all those lights. That's not usually the problem. Lighting is usually a good thing. All right, I don't know. Well, if it doesn't help turning the lights up, I'm certainly not going to keep them off. No? Okay. Well, anyways, there's lots of little root nubs. Let me go out here to the right focal length. Right there. So the new canes produce new roots on this one. Not all the cattleya types are like that, so it's important that this part of that plant be protected and taken care of. Up here is the sheath. So in here, this will swell and develop, and well, a new inflorescence usually will develop in there. It's supposed to. Doesn't always. Sometimes it just sits there, and you can look at this plant and go, okay, well, each one of these canes here has 1 leaf. So if that's in there, then that should be an inflorescence, but doesn't mean that it will be. Sometimes they just sit there and do nothing. That happens quite frequently. Mostly when they've been shipped, right? So I don't expect much to happen with that. If it had developed that on its own, different story. But that's not what happened there. Okay, so the next one, this is a very common one. Really great orchid that I highly recommend for anybody who's newer to orchids, wants to get into them. This would do great in a lot of terrariums with your aeroids. It's a Brassicattleya fuchsia star. It's a hybrid. The Brassivola, which is, you know, under the Cattleya umbrella, is a really sturdy one. They have these long, thin, well, you're gonna get to see it. I don't have a straight Brassivola right now. I only have hybrids, but these look fairly similar to those. They're more free-flowering. They tend to have a lot more vigor to them, depending on the hybrid. Brassivola nodoso, I think, is just a fantastic starter cattleya for a lot of people because it's more vigorous. And they flower more freely, usually. Yeah, they're just nice. But I'm like, well, that's a really nice sized plant. And I think I saw a bud in here, but I don't expect the buds to do much of anything since, well, you know, they've been through it, right? You can see, you know, the foliage isn't looking perfect, but lots of new growth in here. And that's what we want to see. It's nice, healthy new growth. And this one right here, it has, well, you can kind of see it. It's a white flower with some pink dots and a little bit of yellow inside the throat of the lip. And then this is the last one of those hybrids. This is, I think, a more common one called Felicia. Oh, you get a good picture there. It's a limey green to yellow petal with a really pretty pink and yellow on the inside. The Felicia is also supposed to be a vigorous one. I need to keep these with their packages. I gotta not mess that. Well, I know that's an encyclia, so it's mainly these two. I gotta make sure that I don't forget which is which here. That happens sometimes. I gotta make sure I put plant labels on these right away when I get them potted up. Looked like a nice plant. This is one that I've been interested in before, so it was nice to see it for sale. It's gonna need some cleaning up. There was possibly an inflorescence that was maybe there, maybe getting ready to start in there. I don't know, we'll see. Might flower, who knows? I think these look great. Now I have two more, and well, this one, oh, I'm gonna show you this one next. It's real cute. It's real cute, look at it. Look at the cuteness. It's so little. It's a mini cattleya. I don't know what kind. I can't read this. I don't know what the heck that says. Amaru? Kangaroo? Damaroo? I have absolutely no idea. Pamaroo? Y'all have to let me know. I did some digging and I have yet to figure it out. Amory? Is that an Amory maybe? Oh, I don't know, but it has some of the most petite flowers of the pink types. I can find a good amount of orange when, I mean, the rare occasion that I find orchids for sale in person at an orchid show. Typically around here, they're orange. And so it was just nice to see something with the pink. I didn't detect any fragrance, but it's really tiny. And that was it. That's the only reason I liked it. Not detecting any fragrance, but it's little and it's cute, so I love it. And then the last one is right here. Dry. So these last two are the ones from the cellar that I didn't catch the name of, unfortunately. Very nice gentleman, but didn't catch his name. The plants were pretty dry. So this is a Vanda stylus. Oh, right here. Here we go. Right there. Oh, sorry, Vandacustat. It's this right here, Blue Charm Star. And it's pretty much done flowering. It did have good fragrance to it. It's the next day, by the way. I could smell the ones that he had there yesterday. I picked out this one just because I thought it had the best looking growth on it. The Rinco Stylus, pretty tough. Vandas, it just depends. Asconcentrums, whatever they're called, usually better inside. So I thought, well, this is a mini type, so let's give it a try. And they typically do better for me in the house than like a regular Vanda, like a Pachara or something. Those have to be out here in the grow space, but that one I might be able to take indoors. Had some celebrating going on last night, a family situation. But yeah, here they are, all repotted. The encyclia I went ahead and just put into a regular container in a mostly bark mix. There's some moss in there. I'd say probably a quarter of this might be moss, maybe. And the rest of these, I do a lot of moss with my cattleyas. I didn't used to do that. I used to be on the train of like, oh, just, you know, to use lava rock and all these things I was being told from mostly Florida growers or people who have their plants in a true greenhouse. It just lives in a place very humid. That didn't work for me. It can be challenging using a lot of moss though, because though they do like some water, they want to dry out a smidge between watering. But when I have them outside during the summer, I have to be very mindful that they don't just saturate it all the time. So you go someplace that's fairly sheltered, which I prefer anyways, because that way they're not getting too much sun, even though they do like a lot of sun. So it's something I have to watch out for. It's another reason that I really like these mesh pots because, well, they have drainage, right? The sides aren't tight, so too much water cannot collect in these. And if you're worried about there being too much moisture, then you just lift it up like this. And you got air, so it's not sitting in the water and there's more airflow. You push it down like that, We have a seal. Okay, well, not a seal. That's overstating things, but a lot more, I don't know, sealed-ish environment. Less airflow, more condensation, but still enough airflow for the roots. So that's what I did with all of the Cattleya types. And I didn't have plant tags, so I just wrote it on the pot. It's fine. I have plant tags that'll be here in the mail in a few days. I'm just getting low. So there's those 3. Oh, and then over here, you have the little mini cat with the name that I just don't know what it says. I don't know what it says. I have no idea. Those are the flowers. And then the Vanda stylus, or Vanco stylus. Yeah. I also did into a container, which I don't usually do with Vandaceous type orchids, but, well, I have with Rinco stylus, Rincoides, and Ascocentrum, so I thought, well, hey, why not? Let's give it a try. It's a smaller type. I think it'll do well in there. And this has a lot of big bark in it and some moss. And again, if I worry about there being too much moisture, which I do not think something I will be concerned about, let's lift it up. Or even just go ahead and pull the entire thing out and just, you know, let it breathe. Easy peasy. All right. Okay, so orchids are done. I'm going to leave the pings as they are for right now. Yeah, feels good. Feels moist. You can kind of see that water level down there, right? See, I still have to water these fairly frequently. And that's fine. The main idea with these is that you have airflow and a humid environment. Humid air. Yeah, nice moist air around the roots. That just seems to be better for them. And there are lots of other ways you can do this. You can just, you know, put a pot inside of a larger pot and sit on top of a few rocks. Right? It's not that different. But I like the way these look. They're reasonably priced, I think. And yeah, the plants have been happy in them so far. Nice, healthy pseudobulbs. Big and swollen. Okay. I actually think this one needs some water, but let's go out to the greenhouse. It's much nicer too. Let's go see what's going on out there. Oh, hey, Pumpkin. I'm sorry. I shouldn't be disturbing your breakfast. I'm sorry. Are you ready? I know you've been waiting. Let's go outside. Come on. With no enthusiasm, let's go outdoors. Come on, baby. He's been waiting. I felt bad. I was filming, and I was like, I should have really wrapped this up. This dog wants out. Oh my gosh, it feels so nice. Huh? Ah, that's not ideal. It's 38, which means that it is warmed up. Also, realized my jacket was covering my microphone, so that could have been a problem. Eating some snow. Having a nice snack. 38 would be the warmest day we've had in nearly 2 weeks. It's the first time we've been above freezing in over 2 weeks. Oh, the seal's been broken. The snow that was around the perimeter melted away. That snow, I think that was a lifesaver for everything in this greenhouse. It really sealed things up when we were having those sub-zero temperatures. Also, this is not, I was gonna say it's not real. This is real. It's the top that blew off of the little gem when we had a really, really bad storm back in November. And I just stuck it over here. So like, well, that looks nice. Looks nicer. But yeah, it's not potted up. It's just a stick. All right. It is quite warm in here. And actually looking at the forecast, I can, oh my God, oh, that's hot. I'm going to turn off the baby heater. We don't need this one anymore. This was just, you know, for the sub-zero temperatures, but that's too much. Way too much. I'm probably gonna need to water in here. That kind of heat. Yeah, the soil temperature is pushing 80. Wow. Are the thermostats not working? This is supposed to shut everything off at 50. Oh no. This thing fell down. It's been catching the cold air right along the side of that plastic. Oops. Wonder how that got knocked down. I was trying to keep it up here. I'm gonna wrap that tighter. And then that should trigger this guy to turn off in a few minutes. Okay, all right, lesson learned there. I need to secure the... Did you just knock it down again? Why are you going in and out? Pick a spot, Turbo. Yeah, so we're just watching that climb. Yeah, 65. But that'll... I'm guessing it's probably 82 in here right now. Why is it still heating? I had this set to 66. At least I thought I did. We're set to 68. It's supposed to be at 55. I don't know, but it's fine. It's not too hot in here, but warmer than I would prefer it be. I would imagine the screen stock's probably pretty dry. Oh no, that actually feels okay. These feel all right. Radishes are starting to get more solid. Need to give us a twist. It's been a few days. It was so cold that I wasn't coming out here. I don't expect these to do much. We just don't really have the light quite yet to get the seedlings off and going out here. That's why I actually ended up not potting up the seedlings I was talking about in the beginning of the video. Where do you want to go? I'll leave this open. It's warm enough. Pushing 40 outside. You can go in and out if you want. It just didn't make sense. I think I should wait, maybe another week or two. I think would be good. We're just getting more and more light as time passes, and I think that it would be smarter if I want stronger looking growth. Okay, I just looked at the forecast, and the coldest day in our extended forecast is 17. That's nothing. That's 25 degrees warmer than it was just a few days ago. And plenty of humidity in here. It's currently raining. Every time the wind blows or turbo goes through the thing, the water just pours down. I was wondering, because I was like, man, I really feel like I should have to water by now. I gave everything a good drink a couple days before the cold front and all that snow and ice moved in, because I didn't want to have to water during those colder temperatures. And I figured it just wouldn't be that warm in here. And it maintained between, 60. I think the coldest temperature got in here was 58. And that's when I went in and I threw the third heater in here. And 58's fine, but that was when it was like 5 degrees outside, and I knew we were still going to drop another 10 degrees, and we had a lot of cold still on the way. A long duration of cold, that is. So I brought the third one out. That's off now. I know, that's not great, but he knocked it over. It's okay, it's unplugged. I also always check the tip function on these things. These two heaters over here, they're amazing. You just barely move them with your hand, and they shut off almost instantly. Nice feature. This will make me nervous though, so I'm glad that I can go ahead and just unplug this little one that's over here. I can put that away. Don't really need it out here, not for 17 degrees, not necessary, especially when we got these two in here. These are both set on a thermostat. This has its own little built-in thermostat thing. You're just knocking that thing all over the place, aren't you, Turbo? Like it's a freaking hockey puck. Things flying all over. He's very excited. He hasn't gotten to see his fish in a long time. I mean, it's been a couple of weeks of me saying, yeah, maybe no dog out here. It's probably not a great idea because it's so cold that I've only been in here a few times. I just pop in and out really, really fast. And I also had a whole bunch of plants in there. It's called hornwort. It's for my fish tanks inside. Great aquatic plant. Grows like insanity. Grows so fast, but every now and then I have to pull it out of the tank and bring it out here, and the goldfish eat it. And it takes them about a month to get through it all. And, they got through it all, and Turbo can see the fish again. So even he wasn't coming out here, it didn't matter because that was full of plants. And you couldn't even see them, but they've eaten their way through all of that. He's loving this. He's so happy to be doing the in and out thing. He's been kind of bummed the last couple of weeks. But I'm going to walk because, it's been like 5 degrees outside. So we've just had to do all of our play and everything in the house, which is fun. But it's just not the same. Dogs want to get out. They want to smell things, right? I was supposed to be talking about the light and the temperatures and everything. So here's the thing with the seedlings. Look at this mint over here. This is a good example. You see that? Look at the spacing in between these leaves. It's because the light in here just isn't that intense. And it never will be, because the location that I have this in is up against a wall where there's some giant pine trees up and over. I can see it with my eyes. I don't know if you can. You can see like it's light over here and more filtered over there towards the back. That's where the pine trees are. So as it is, this only gets a few hours of light a day, and it's pretty much just the front half of this that gets that light. The intensity is different this time of year as well. We just need longer days, I think. So just a couple more weeks, and can probably get some things going. I guess I could start them in the garage and bring them out here, but I'm trying to not do too much back and forth, because we already know we got the bugs in the garage, and so far in here, I have had to spray, particularly on the oleander, who I need to check because I haven't been out here so much yet. That's what I thought. I'm gonna have to spray that. I haven't been out here much the last couple of weeks because of the bad weather and not wanting to let all the cold air in here. But at least they're mostly sticking to the oleander. That's nice. Oh, the fig. Fig's still coming up. That's so weird. I mean, it's not that weird. It's been unusually warm, so it's not that shocking. But, well, it's a little surprising. My figs don't usually just randomly shoot out like that this time of year, but I don't know. I haven't grown the Miss Figgy before. Did I call it Miss Piggy in the garden tour? It's a Miss Figgy. I don't know. I don't remember what I said. Good fig. But I also am like, well, if I'm going to grow a fig, I might as well grow a Chicago Hardy that can take a lot more cold and just stick it in the ground, right? But it's fun to have the fig around. It's nice to have plants that I can move out earlier, right? So these plants, a lot of what's in here, not all of it, but a lot of what's in here will be I don't know, maybe even a month from now, they might be out there on the patio. I'm probably going to lean more towards the last week of March into the first couple of weeks in April. But the things like the windmill palms and the little sables, all of those, they'll be out. The pindu, that'll be out. The oleander, all of these. They're all the awesome pretty limits. They can take some cold, so I'll have them out as soon as we're not having temperatures that are below, like, I don't know, 15, somewhere in there. And they can go out. We're not that far away from that. In fact, I could move these out now. The coldest night we're going to have in the next 10 days is 11, but why would I? That seems like an unnecessary amount of work to do, to just set things on top of snow. Yeah, everything looks good in here. I was a little concerned. I was thinking that it might come in here and there might be a bunch of really dry and upset looking plants, but everything is maintaining itself very well with the humidity and the airflow, right? I mean, I would think that this would be really thirsty, but yeah, I mean, it could use some water. I also don't really have anything in here that's all that thirsty either. I mean, the plants that are in here are largely plants that can take some periods of drought. Even the Freticasas here, these Cordolan Freticasas, they can take some spells of drought. The Washingtonia, they don't care. Have succulents down there. The olive, yeah, they don't. These plants don't mind if they dry out some. So I'm thinking tomorrow I'll probably bring the hose out here and water. Today, hopefully, a lot of that snow will melt. That's a double-edged sword. I don't want the snow to melt. I love the snow, but I guess it's been long enough, and now it's getting kind of gross and icky, but it just, it looks so pretty. I love looking out the window and seeing all the snow. And the bird feeders, oh my gosh, they've been covered. Because we had so much snow that they're like, we're starving, we don't have anything to eat. Which is very sad, but it brought all the birds to my yard. I've been filling these feeders for the last few months, and I guess somebody else has been doing a better job somewhere, because they're like, no, screw you, man, there's better food down the hill. But no, they're coming. My window upstairs, there were 3 bluebirds in it the other day. I've seen 2 bluebirds in my entire life, and there were 3 at one time, and a goldfinch. I see like 1 or 2 goldfinches every year, and when I see them, they're far away, and as soon as we make eye contact, they fly away. But they kept coming back, the bluebirds, the goldfinches. I also started mixing in a nut and bug blend with my songbird blend. I did that intentionally because I thought there was a woodpecker, and I was like, he's going to want some nuts and some things. So anyways, yeah, things look pretty good in here. I was thinking we were going to come in here and do some work, but we don't really need to. I just need to hit this guy with some insecticidal soap. All right, hey, that's nice. Yes, no news is good news. Things look good. Yeah, that's always nice. You had to step away from things and just, hope for the best with nature that you're going to come back and things will be doing all right. Don't mind that. That's recycling over there. Yeah, everything is fine there. Okay. This is forgot to shake it up. The insecticidal super soap. Been working well for the mealybugs. Better than anything else I've tried that wasn't incredibly toxic or just straight up rubbing alcohol. Now, ideally, I would also give this plant a turn, like a really big rotate. Because usually what they do is they get up on the other side of everything. Maybe I'll do that. But I tend to do this in a manner where things will have time to go ahead and dry, which takes quite a long time because it's very humid in here. Good, want it to be humid. And that's also good because it means that the super soap can stick around longer on the plants, but I don't want to go twisting the plant and having everything fall off when, it needs to be sticking. So I'll do this side right now, and then maybe later this evening or tomorrow, I'll try my best to remember to come out here and rotate it to do the other side. So what I don't want to happen, which is very likely to happen, or very easy to happen, I should say, is to not rotate it ever. Leave it like this. And then a month or so from now, I go to pull this outside and everything that's pressed up against the plastic is just covered in mealybugs. That's what they do. They tend to like to be in these spots over here. Gently pull it. And, oh, well, you know what? I think the cold may have saved us on that one. Yeah, this plastic's been, sub-zero. So that's been working out. I'm still going to pull it and twist it here in a few days. It's supposed to be 51 the day before this video comes out. Isn't that awesome? When it's that warm out, I can take these, assuming that the snow has melted, take them outside and lay them on their side so I can spray the undersides of the leaves and everything. Need to be doing that with these cordyceps too, because these are normally mealybug magnets. That was my big hesitation with bringing them out here, but so far they seem okay. Shockingly. All right, hey, that's cool. I'm gonna do some pruning because it's getting hard to walk in here, and some of the fronds on this Chinese fan palm have browned up enough that they can go, and it'll allow for more airflow. Like, see all that brown stuff back there? That can all come off. So I may as well take that one too. I have these tied up, but I just need to tighten the string. It's really annoying trying to walk in here with that in your face. I'm trying to see here. Figured if the pruners are going to behave, we can just do this together, like this guy right here. That can come out. So what you're seeing here is mostly foliage that was damaged during a very unexpected, extremely cold snap we had back in, gosh, water pouring over, like November-ish. It got down to like 17 degrees. That was before I had the greenhouse put up. And, you know, it just takes them a while. That, and I pretty much expect these to lose a lot of their leaves this winter. And that's okay as long as they keep pushing new growth, which each trunk is still pushing new growth. So they'll be more bare come the springtime, but not, you know, oh my gosh, what am I tangled up on? This is what I'm talking about. That's why I need to come in here and clear some of this stuff out, because it's hard to even move around in here. Yeah, that airflow is important. And like I said, okay, so they won't be as full, that's what I was saying, this spring, but they will be alive, because the alternative was that I just wouldn't have them. And that seemed like a silly thing to do when I have this greenhouse that had upgraded to the larger greenhouse this year. May as well just set it over these containers and, you know, hope for the best. This is getting difficult. That's what that noise, that was turbo. Thank God. I thought that the wind was about to knock this thing over. Oh my gosh, that is so much better. Look, I know it doesn't seem like a lot, but I can actually walk through here now. I'm looking forward to when I can prune this one off, but this guy still has a good amount of green left in it. That one up there does too. That one's driving me crazy. But I open things up more light can come through the back now for the bamboo palms in the back, which is really, really good. And yeah, this branch or frond that was in my way is more back that way now. And I was just noticing the latest leaf that's opened up, you can see where that growth was during the cold damage. So this is the spear. Yeah, it was all coiled up like a spear, and we had that freeze, and that's the part that was, I guess, exposed and emerging, and that's the stuff that was still underneath there. So that's the main thing I'm looking for with these, is they're still active growth. They're still growing, getting, I don't know, a new frond every month, which is pretty good considering it's winter and the days are pretty short. But it's been warm enough in here that they've been able to pull that off. Looks like I missed one. Oh. I'm really happy with how this has turned out, because the Chinese fan palms aren't always all that easy during the winter time. They can be a monumental pain in the butt, in fact. So I wasn't sure how this was going to work out. I'm still not sure how it's going to work out. I think it would be much better if I could actually keep things cooler in here, which I'll be doing now that we're through this cold snap. I let it stay extra warm in here when we were having those sub-zero temps, because I wanted there to be a, you know, a higher range, you know, more cushion before things could fall and plummet. So during the day, the sun would come out, and I just let it warm up to about 90. I have an alarm set on my phone, so if things go over 91 in here, then I get alerted. It was 90.4 when we came in here. So it was a good thing. I was seeing the temperatures and the sun. I was like, oh, it's time to go in there and probably fix things up. Get that door cracked open. Ideally, I think it would be best moving on from this point, now that we've made it through that cold, to go ahead and gradually let things cool down. I have that set to 65 now. I'm probably going to go ahead and drop it to 60 in a couple of days, because it would be totally fine if everything in here were just to stay between like 45 and 65. I'm not trying to get things grown in here. I want them to just, you know, hang out and hold still for a few more weeks until we can pop the greenhouse off of here and start to enjoy their life being outside again. And this one, that one's really driving me crazy. This is right in the face. But that's all right. You know, I didn't set this up so that I'd have like a fun clubhouse to hang out in, though that has been nice. It's been really fun having a reprieve outside and something different from the grow space, but that wasn't the objective, right? It was for things to look perfect. I wanted things to be functional. I need to bring the blower in here. And I had a brick those were sitting on top of. I had to use it to weigh down that back corner. I need to go grab another brick because I don't want that stuff sitting on the ground. It's all wet outside, so maybe I'll wait another day before I start with the blowing. Turbo knocked the thermostat down again. So I am going to go find a clip inside the house to bring out here for that. Get that guy moved back out. It's not pointed at the plants. Pick him up. Unplug this guy and put it away. Oh, you know what? I want to go check out that bamboo. We haven't had a chance to look at that. I want to see how that thing did. I had thought about covering it up, but I was like, this one's supposed to be good to zone 6. That's the claim, so let's just leave it be. I don't know if I can really get up here all that well, but I'll give it a try. Yeah, so the foliage did freeze dry on it. That's not good. That's not good. Once those leaves do that, they're done. There are some bamboos that will reflush, so we'll just have to wait for spring and see what happens there. This is the Vivex, right? Pretty sure that's what this is. Yeah, actually, this has a lot of damage on it. Well, I will say outside of the, the Bassetti? I think that's how that's said. That's probably the best looking bamboo I've had through those kinds of temperatures. I have the Philostachys nigra back here, the black bamboo, and look at it. Yeah, they don't like that cold. It never does well with it. Oh, I totally forgot about the screenplay holly. That's a zone 7. It still looks pretty good though. It's up against the house. And that was the thing. I only ordered one. I wanted to plant a whole bunch of them, but I was like, it's a zone 7. And we're 6B/7A, newly 7A, but not really 7A. Having to protect laurels during the winter. That's not zone 7. Hi, are you just having the best day of your life? You get to be outside in the snow? So fun. Actually, I should probably go ahead and pull this off. There we go. Some fresh air in there. The snow's not going to hurt them. It will get way too hot inside of these guys. Way too hot. There we go. Yeah, so that condensation that was in there, that's pretty toasty in there. Not necessary. Not for the sable miners. I guess with this one, this isn't quite as easy of a thing to just remove. So maybe we'll just unzip it so it can have some fresh air. And I'm going to wait probably another couple of weeks. Oh, cool. Zipper's jammed. Man, okay. There we go. Yeah, I'll give it another couple of weeks before I go ahead and take this thing down. I really don't need these covers all that often for the sables. Sable minor, that is, and the needle palms, not this one. I didn't protect this one. I think it looks pretty good, right? Negative 6.6. Seems fine, but it had snow all over it. That was the thing. Don't have to worry about so much with the snow. The big guys down there, I still cover them. Because, it's just, I've had them for so long. They've grown so much, it'd be impossible to replace them. Difficult, I could. Have to drive down very far south and then spend a couple years taking care of them in a container, acclimating them to the cooler weather, and then trying them in the ground. We're talking, probably a $5,000 project and at least 2 years worth of time before I could get them in the ground. Wouldn't be doing that. No, needle palms grow slow. This one right here, that one's, what year is it? It's 2026. So that one is, well, I've had it for 18 years. It's been moved several times, but it's been in that spot for a good 10 years. It was just in a little 4-inch container when I got it. That's what it's done in 18 years. So I'm going to leave the covers on those. Those bags are breathable, so I don't worry about them as much. I'm going to wait and see what the forecast says in the next few days. And the needle palms, they're even more cold hardy than the sables. It's just much more of a pain to remove the covers and to get them back on. So I just kind of want to wait and see what the end of February is going to look like. So I'll make that decision, maybe around the time this video comes out. This is only at 17%. That's ridiculous. It's been 3 hours. Charter, or Spectrum, upgraded my internet, and now, wouldn't you know, my internet is so freaking slow. So much slower than it was before. And here's a little preview of stuff to come. I've been filming too much, you guys. I think it's gone too far. Look at all these videos. There's a lot here. There's all. Oh, well, some of those are back to 2022 and 2023. All right, so yeah, from there and up, terrariums, palm tree stuff. And I still have 18 left to edit. Oh, I don't know why I did that. Oh, it's not a bad thing. Not a bad thing at all. It's just my internet's really slow now, so anything filmed in 4K is just taking hours and hours to upload. Which means I should probably wrap this up. That tank, I know it looks dirty. It's not. There's goldfish in there, and they like to pick at the sand. They stir it up. That's fine. They're in there temporarily. There's been a duckweed issue. Some people love their tanks. I don't. I don't like the duckweed. You're doing a great job, but until I can go like a good month without seeing any duckweed, they're staying in there. So just for some context, this video right here, which I know, very blurry, hard to see. Well, this one was 6 gigs because it was filmed in 1080p. And it took an hour and 20 minutes to upload. And that other one in 4K, it was like 38 gigs, which is fine. I like filming stuff in a higher resolution. But it's going so slow that it's not even giving me a time estimate. And normally, the weekend vlogs, these videos, the ones that are pretty dang long, anywhere from like 45 to an hour and a half long, if I film those in 4K, they're usually like about 100 gigs, 120 gigs at the most. And those usually take, hour and a half to 2 hours to upload. This one's 30 gigs, and I'm not even giving a time estimate. I'm guessing it's probably going to take the rest of the day. I don't, why? Why Charter, Spectrum, whoever the heck you are? What? Such a scam. Like, we'll upgrade your internet for free. We see you're doing this plan, but we'll just see, here's your new modem thing. Yeah, no, this internet's horrible. Now, get that worked out. Hey, some plant stuff that's interesting. Well, I need to do it again. I was cleaning the leaves on the billet that I have up here, and it's still kind of dusty. I gave it a wipe down, and then it looked clean, and looks like I could use some more. Probably going to take a few dustings. Lots of cat hair on there. This grow light, it was in a video not that long ago. I should shut the heck up. I was just talking about how long it's going to take to upload these videos. I'm going to wrap things up soon. But I haven't talked about this grow light in quite a while. I unboxed it in a video back in like 2024, I believe. Probably. I don't remember who made it. It's not great, I've decided. Because I have it here with all these beautiful plants underneath it, and what are these plants doing? Look at what they're doing. It said, oh, I know there's a grow light up there, but this cheap little LED on the fish tank seems better. Let me try and get in on that action. Let's try to grow underneath there. Not to the grow light that's right above it. I think that's pretty telling. Doesn't really matter since I can't remember who made it. Does it say on here anywhere? Oh, Glorium. Oh, that's interesting. They advertise a lot on Instagram. I wouldn't buy this. Plant growth has been minimal, to say the least. I mean, it's not good. I'm not getting good growth out of it, and the plants very much seem to prefer the grow lights, or the aquatic lights, to the fish tank over the, oh my gosh, come on. Over the grow light that's up here. Yeah. Okay. Well, there's that fun little review that nobody asked for. Oh, the other thing, the bird seed. If you're interested, this is the one that I got. It's called the Bugs and Berries Blend. It has like nuts and stuff in it. Cranberries, sunflower kernels, mealworms, darkling insects, which are, beetles. I'm pretty sure those are the beetles that come from the mealybugs, aren't they? And then I just been adding in the peanuts to the bird feeder over here, and they have been loving it. And this is the seed blend that I've been using for a long time, and they've liked it. It's a Pennington Songbird. It's mostly just the sunflower, the black oil seeds in there, and then sometimes I add mealworms into it. But when I saw the woodpecker, I already told you, I was like, hey, you gotta do something more. And then I added this into the blend, and oh my gosh, it's just magical over here. Not right now, because I'm standing right here. Do you see it? Do you see it? Do you see it? Come on, zoom in, camera. Zoom in, zoom in. Look, look. It's a goldfinch. This is what I'm talking about. Birds that I never see. I've seen the bluebirds like almost every single day since I started using this blend, and they are going to town on it. It's really expensive feeding the birds this time of year, and very messy too. The snow out here, like when you walk around the patio over there, it is just covered in cracked seed, which is fine. I mean, that's the whole point. What are they supposed to do, right? I mean, there aren't. Well, actually, I mean, we're not that far from pretty woodsy areas for them, but still, just seems like the right thing to do. But it is a fair amount of maintenance. I've been taking these out. I don't know if it's necessary, but because of the avian flu stuff, every single day I've been pulling the trays out and rinsing them off, and then spraying them down with hypochlorous acid, letting that sit for about 10 minutes, and rinsing them and putting them back. Is that overkill? I don't know. I have a whole method. I have a tub that I put them in. It's like a little clean zone, because I also, I have a parrot. I don't want the avian flu in the house either, so It's a whole thing. Lots of washing and cleaning. And I haven't really heard about it in songbirds. I think there's maybe a case with a robin. But they're all sharing this, and they keep pooping in there too. So it's just the right thing to do, right? I think it's worth it. Trying to take care of them. So yeah, I guess I should wrap this up. I've been talking for too long. There is some stuff I'd like to do out in the grow space, but yeah, you know, I should probably stop. Looking forward to when the duckweed's going up here. There's not a ton left, but there's still, you can kind of see. You sort of see some little pieces up there. Yeah. I'm going to try and pull the rest of those floaters, move them to a different take, and spread those out, and then I think they'll be able to get to the rest of the duckweed, and I have to be able to pull the goldfish before they start eating the rest of the plants, which they've already done some of that. The tank is going to seem so much easier to take care of once it gets to that point. Goldfish are quite messy. Here we go. Last look. Stunning, beautiful, smells nice. Oh, smells very nice. Smells really, really good. Oh, and this guy, oh, that looks stupid. I'm trying to fix that. Oh, it was my sister's birthday the other day, so I had to break out the vintage stuff. It's not vintage, but you know, the happy faces. I don't know. My sister and her friends were really into that in the late 90s, I suppose. I don't remember. But typically with the Cattleyas, what I was going to say is that I mentioned they don't like to be bare rooted. And it's usually a struggle getting them to reestablish themselves. With this one, it's looking pretty good. The flowers have even opened up more. I think this bud that's over here might still make it. Wouldn't be a bad idea to just cut that bloom off of there, so to use that energy to reestablish itself. But I don't know. I want to enjoy it. I'm gonna, it's like maybe 2 more days. 2 more days, and I'll cut that off. So here's a good grow light. This terrarium right here, which there'll be a video on this later, so I'm not going to show the whole thing. Be like, oh, is that light working? Lifted it up. Yep. Yep. That's what they're supposed to do. The plants are supposed to go towards the light. I'm going to need to prune on that. Yeah, I'm going to need you guys to tell me your experience with the glowrium, because they advertise to me a lot on Instagram, and I never had any reason to think that they weren't good, other than forgetting that the one that I had bought years ago was from that brand, and now I'm going, okay, all right. I'd pass on that. This has finally gotten to a point where I can go ahead. See how yellow that is? I'm going to cut that. Staying right above the green. There we go. All right. Oh, that's good. That's been bugging me for a while. The coconut palms take a long time for their foliage to brown out. Yeah, I'm going to wrap it up. I think all I have left to do... No, hold on. I'm going to show you one more thing. Look at that. Isn't that spectacular? This is the inflorescence on the Quemadurria tepelito. It's such a cool inflorescence. I'm debating moving this agave because it's just getting in the way. Maybe I can just scoot it over so this has more room to drape and do its thing. Oh good, there's a mealybug on that one down there. That's fun. That's interesting too. So these palms, I have not had any mealybug issues with them. I wonder if that's partially maybe because I keep them in an area with pretty high airflow. There's a fan right there. I don't know. But I mean, the parts that are over there and underneath everything, those usually don't get the mealybugs on. But of course, they're going to be on the flowers. That's not shocking me. So as this ages, this should turn, as long as I can make sure to not let this dry out much, this should turn a really beautiful, vibrant orangey red, and then the seeds that they put out will be a really like a dark purple into black color. Really cool looking flowers on this one. And I have a male flower right down there. So that's pretty awesome. They're doing it all, right? I assume that's a male flower. That or this one just has wildly different inflorescences than this one does. Or that those are male flowers, I should say. I think that... Gosh, I keep doing this, but there's just more stuff to share. Okay, it's time to go, but then talk for another 10 minutes. Okay, well, I can't get over there right now. Like, not very... Oh, wait, well, maybe I can. Nah, I can't, and I don't need to. Look at the windmill. It's doing its thing. I don't know why whenever I move this thing inside, it goes, oh, okay. Let's just put our sex parts out. Frickin' palm tree gets horny in this garage. It would be nice if some of my others would get mature enough to put out an inflorescence so that I could, get some seeds. But, I don't think that's happening quite yet. I have another one over there that is old, but no, nothing on it. All right, I got some cleaning, some rearranging, some brown stuff to prune off of things. I need to make room on here for all those new orchids and some other things that will be rolling in here pretty soon. Thanks for hanging out. Anything you got going on in your gardens with your houseplants, more than likely, let us know. And those of you who just went through that terrible freeze, I am so sorry. And what we had to deal with was just a lot of snow. But that's not that unheard of here. The amount of snow was pretty extreme for what we would typically get. But it was nothing compared to last year where we had a ton of snow that was on top of a thick layer of ice, and it took over a month to get it removed. Some of y'all I know down in Tennessee and heck down in Florida, I mean, my gosh, your poor plants and the poor iguanas. Oh, poor iguanas. People do the whole they're invasive thing. They don't know that. I don't care if they're invasive. It's still not nice. I feel bad for them. It's not nice. The weather, that weather being so mean to the iguanas. All right, hey, I hope everybody's doing well, having a great day, great life, and everything's just going absolutely beautifully for you. And of course, as always, and most importantly, everybody, keep on growing. Bye.